Yeah, it's a strong side.
To mark lines.
Get out of your way. Sorry, you go ahead of me.
It's above, it's below, yeah.
Oh, look at that one up there.
Kookaburras.
There's shades on there. You're going to lose a bit of it there. Check this out.
It's really big. My name is Mirjana Knežević. I'm energy healer, and we are at Gumbooya. This is Aboriginal sacred site, but I have special place in my heart because this is my healing site. And this is where I connect with universe.
Thank you, Mirjana. Thanks for bringing us here today. My name is Dr. Sam Osmanagich, and this is Steven Strong. We are obviously in Australia, in Sydney. Now, what we have here, it's an amazing sight, and when we think about the ancients, we always try to apply our criteria, how we would do it, how our technology would find the answers. But in reality, there are different ways to do things. There are different ways to connect with the nature, with what's happening around us. For example, what we have here, we have one straight line, which was obviously carved into this bedrock, and we have one hole here, perfectly done, perfectly rounded. So for majority of the people today, it doesn't mean a lot. Matter of fact, probably it means nothing. They will just move through this rock and go home. But let's see if there is some significance to it. The moment you stand here at the beginning of this line, you will see that the line ends basically where your head is. So the shadow that we can see here is a representation of a man, and the man's length or the height. That's one thing. This line should be going exactly through the middle of the body. The next thing that we can see is the location of the hole. If you follow the hole, you see my shadow, a little bit longer, deeper, and this is exactly where the hole is located. Reproductive organs. So in both cases, male or female, we have a reproduction which has something to do with the purpose of our life on this planet. And then the orientation of this line. This is not east-west, as probably some people would expect, because the movement of the sun actually is not exactly east-west, especially on the most important days. In the northern hemisphere, the place where the sun is rising during the most important day, which is summer solstice, usually around June 21st, is not east-west, but east-northeast, west-southwest, and that's exactly the location of this line. So in northern hemisphere is the summer solstice, southern hemisphere it is the winter solstice. So when we think some more, it describes the movement of the sun, which to some people, especially from the ancient times, is our father, sun. Sun brings us light, brings us warmth, and brings us information, as the Mayan civilization would say. In other words, sun was respected as the father. But in this particular case, it is more than a father, it is also a mother. This hole here is actually our connection to the underworld. And we know from the Aborigines and also some other cultures like American Indians and so on, they came from the underground to the surface. So the life came from the underground. And that's the reason why we have such a perfect circular hole, perfectly circular, like it was machined, because they wanted to make sure that the connection between the two dimensions is the perfect. And this is where we came from. So with very simple, lion and the whole story has been told. So here we have both male and the female. It's a genius. You don't need high technology to do this. You just need to think in terms of us, human body, the lions, the sun, the nature. So it's amazing. Stephen, what do you say?
I agree with 110%. I'm most taken by the way you've been intuitive with that. But the point I want to add to this is our dreaming story about the beginning, the creation story, talks about the fact that the men came here and were buried in the ground. And they waited until everything was ready, then they were brought out. Now, to me, what Dr. Sam's saying right now is exactly the same thing. And I agree too, we've seen 3 of these now, and every one of them, that circle, is really quite amazing. I've been trying to analyse when I looked at that each time, how would it be possible I could do this with stick, stone and bone? And the answer is you can't. It wasn't done with that. It's indicative of 2 things, an ancient civilization, but that hole is just too perfect to be done just by banging in there and hoping something comes out like that. Because there's 3 of them. All 3 go down a long way and they're perfectly round all the way down. That's amazing technology, but what Dr. Sam said is dead set right. We believe we come from the earth, and we came out of the earth, and that's what this is saying. I think it's a great piece of archaeology, and I want to thank you for finding that, because I'd been here before with an elder, we didn't see it. So that's really a big step forward. I'm glad we came because of that. That's amazing. That really is.
All right, good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So I want to tell you just a little bit about this site, what this rock here does for me. If I meditate here, I'm able to be teleported to other worlds, not just on Earth, but other planets as well, and other places on Earth. It's like portal to me to travel wherever you want to be, where heart takes you, you just go. And it is very energetically powerful spot. So all energy here, it's uplifting. So you maybe can see something through the video, but if you visit Sydney, contact me and I'll bring you here.
Wonderful, thank you, Mirjana. This outcropping, there is a way to use it which is very precise. So what the ancients did, they left us instructions. They left them in writing, so probably that was the first spot to see. You read, you communicate, you understand, then you go through 3 sites that will tell you about the origin of man, about the origin of life on this planet and its connection with the sun. And this is probably the most important site here, because this is the highest point. There is a commanding view. Long time ago, we could see 360 degrees without the vegetation. At that time, there was only rocks. You are coming here on the top. Now, the orientation of this line is different. It is not solstice, summer or winter solstice. This one is southwest northeast, exact, which is our equinox, fall equinox and spring equinox. And the difference is this line to the right. It is showing the direction of the travel. So there the story was told us how we came to this planet, and here the story is how we can travel back and trace our origin. So you come here, you become aware of that fact, and then, at least through the astral projections, you can go back and try to see where is your home planet. Where was that happening? Not here, but nearby. So, the ceremony would continue from here once we get instructions over there. So what we have here, this is actually the Fibonacci spiral, which symbolizes the energy vortex, and that's how it's taking you, your soul, from this place to the one that will help you to trace your origin. So the final stage was happening right here in this energy vortex. So we have the spiral. So that's the reason why this place was so important for them. And if you imagine this place with all those vegetation, this was very, very powerful. Technologically very advanced, without use of any technology, just use of, what we have here, our soul and our knowledge about our origin.
This is medicine country. All our medicines came from here. Wow. It's been run through there and then it sort of runs off after that, although there could be one down there. In fact, there probably is. But I'm not cleaning that out. Should have cleaned that one out.
There is one more.
Yeah, let me just wash some of this off. That's quite shallow and that's deeper, but that's the deepest one of the three. So each of them are at different depths.
There should be one more.
That's what I'm thinking too, yeah. I'm thinking it's either down there or up here somewhere, because the line continues, doesn't it? It runs down there and it comes from up there. Yeah, but we won't know now.
This is a place of 4 elements. This is the place of 4 elements. We have sun, of course.
Yeah.
Being in this area,
Yeah.
very hot.
Yeah.
Fire. Ground is here. Earth.
Yeah.
Water is here.
Yeah. And we're on the top of it, yeah.
And the top of the hill always windy.
Yeah.
So all 4 elements are present here.
Yeah.
So once you have 4 elements, then it affects everything in a very significant and beneficial way.
Exactly. That's why
All
these
4
were put
elements.
here. Yeah.
The water was flowing, and the real beneficial juices were collected somewhere there.
Yeah.
This is the story of 4 elements.
That's brilliant. It's outrageous, and everyone's at different depths, because they would have been using different herbs and different vegetation in each one of them, depending on what was needed. I mean, when the white fellas came here, they said every black fella had a 6-pack. And Cook used to say we were miserable by comparison to them. Well, up our way, when they went logging, they wouldn't go into the bush without a black fella, because they get lost. And he'd climb up the tree and do everything. They'd sit there and say, oh, thanks very much.
Right.
So yeah, they were so powerful. Manly Beach was called Manly Beach because the men there were so manly compared to the English.
Yes.
That's why they called it that. We were so healthy. And then sugar cane, white flour cane. And you can imagine the body of an original person Europeans have got used to it, but original people have never got used to it, and it kills them. It kills them more than anyone else. Diabetes, 1 out of 2 original people have diabetes. Because we practice with it.
This site was extremely important to them. Everything was here. The story of the origin, the life and death, transformation, moving to the place of the real home, the life on this planet, from the birth, living, healthy, understanding 4 elements, everything is here.
This is an encyclopedia.
So if we are to kind of clear everything, we will find more stories
Oh, absolutely.
in the stone.
It's the same everywhere. We're going to go to sites where you know there's so much more that's leading under the leaf litter, but no one looked after it, no one cared. I mean,
Tell me, Stephen, who were you bringing here in different sites in Australia, out of independent researchers and...
I have to talk about that, Dr. Samir. We are actually, I've got a file this thick of letters trying to put me in jail. I've got academics who've written papers that says under no conditions are we to go near us. We are basically the lepers of the archaeological community. We are called, we've got a great write up in Wikipedia, haven't we, Evan? Yep. We're pseudo-archaeologists. You'd know that one, wouldn't you, back to front? No, it's been an ongoing, even on websites, on the main AusArt website in Australia, if they mention our name, they can be thrown off. So there is a concerted effort in this country not for anyone to work with us. So we're on our own. We're on our own. That's why we love bringing people from overseas. But I'm going to say this now, I've brought some wonderful people from overseas, but I've never seen anyone work like you do. You work like a black fella. The others work like good white fellas, no criticism meant there. Michael Tellinger particularly, when he went to the carry-on site, he broke down and cried, didn't he?
Yep.
He sensed how powerful it was. So he was locked in. But you read it. You read it when you stand there, man. I really enjoy watching this. So yeah, no, we got no one. We're on our own. And it's the way it is. Graham, when he came here, he said, how can you have so much stuff? He said, because no one else will touch it, mate. He couldn't believe we had, because we had so much stuff. We've been everywhere in this country. And I said, mate, simple. They won't do it. And if they find something, when I did archaeology, I started to do an archaeology course up at New England. The first lecture we were given, when we all sat together, the guy came out and said, there's plenty of pyramids in Australia, but we don't talk about them. When I found one up in the nightcap, and I did, there was a pyramid of about this high, about 4,000 rocks stacked, 4-sided pyramid. I wrote about it in the paper for the end of the second year. And they wrote back and said, write anything and we'll give you a pass, but we will not even look at this. So that was the attitude when I started it, and it hasn't changed. So we're on our own. We can't get anywhere. And if they did look at the rocks we've got, the places we've seen, the skull I've got that doesn't have a forehead, they'd say you're right. So the idea is no one looks at us, no one talks to us. And we just keep doing what we do. And every now and then we're lucky enough to bring someone like you out here. And I've learned so much today on this site because of what you've told us, and I didn't see it. But I'm quite happy to say that. I mean, I've been given ceremony, so is Evan. So we're allowed to go onto all these sites when we do it properly. When we go to the other site, we'll do it properly. But I like what you're doing. I really do like the way you're doing this. You've taught me a lot about that. I knew that one straight away. That was easy for me. Some of the other stuff I didn't know. Yeah.